Darkside made this?
This the rant of the real. Everybody telling lies, the truth first, so it's fuck how they do feel. Or you for real? Man, put that on your mama, you a gangster and you got more shit for real. This the rant of the real. Everybody telling lies, the truth first, so it's fuck how they do feel. Or you for real? Man, put that on your mama, you a gangster and you got more shit for real.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rant to the Real, the part where real niggas get on here and rant. This is the #1 podcast in the top 50. No need to look that up. Google is wrong. They're stealing your data right now. I would stop trusting them. I am your host, Uncle Chive, the hardest working in the world. Now let's start your day off with eggs, bacon vibes. And I bring nothing but immaculate vibes. It's the last episode of 2025. Last week we took a break. I know like December has been like on, off. This was supposed to, I think, come out on Christmas. And I was just wrapped up doing anything but that. So it didn't happen, and for that I do apologize once again. But you know, we're back to our regular scheduled programming. We're back to what you guys are used to. I think I want to start doing maybe like short reacts. I don't watch a lot of, I'm not sure if this is the green shirt. Nope, it is. I don't watch a lot of like shorts anymore. So like, I don't spend my time doom scrolling, but I think I'm going to do some, like, short reacts on this show. So maybe we can react together. I got to figure out how to, like, line them up so it's, like, while I'm watching, it plays and it just does it smoothly, more smooth. Neither one of those words. But yeah. It needs to be more of a smoother play transition type thing. So that's what I'm focusing on right now. So yeah, 2026, that's the goal. Doing some short reacts, making fun of people that post themselves online. It'll be like a ridiculousness segment. You know what's crazy is that show, it recently got canceled. I think after like 30 seasons or something like that. That was the only thing MTV had on was ridiculousness. So I'm intrigued to see what they put on now. I don't watch cable, so I wouldn't know. I'd have to look it up. I would have to look it up. I know I said like I don't watch a lot of shorts, but when I do, there's usually one of 4 shorts that pop up. It's either 5. So it's either a Trevor Wallace skit or stand-up thing. Shane Gillis skit stand-up thing. It's these 2 people who repost other videos. And then Mr. Peanut is one of them. And then the other guy that pops up is like this dude that just eats a bunch of hot dogs. And he puts Cheese Whiz on them. That's where I feel as if things are weird because why Cheese Whiz? Of all condiments, is that even a condiment? But of all things that put on these dogs, why a cheese? Why Cheese Whiz? Like, A, where do you even find that stuff? That shit, it can't be healthy for you. Like, the color that it comes out just looks unnatural. And then that shit is usually salty as shit. But man usually gets a bun, boiled dog, Cheese Whiz. And I would expect that behavior from someone as translucent as him. But Cheese Whiz, it always reminds me of, is it an extremely goofy movie where, or is it just, no, it's just Goofy movie where the dude who's like the pothead, laid back, chill dude is always eating Cheese Whiz. That's what that reminds me of. Because that's just an odd. It's just odd, like. People that eat Cheese Whiz, they have they fall into a stereotype. Like they look like they eat Cheese Whiz. You know, it's like if you met someone, they told you, and you've seen it in the fridge, you'd be like, this guy looks like it. They look like they eat this shit straight out the can, just. Ew. Oh my God, that's nasty. But yeah, I don't know why. Just the hot dog dude eating Cheese Whiz hot dogs everywhere, and then they're boiled. Like hot dogs in general, not my cup of tea. But a boiled hot dog, you've immediately lost me. I would have contemplated a grilled one, but a boiled one is an absolutely fuck no. And then we've sealed the deal with Cheese Whiz. I would never eat that shit. I don't be telling y'all the work stories cause like I don't have that many old ones anymore, so all I have are new ones. So I had to let the ones sit for some time before it rolled in. So now that it has sat in, it came up to me on memory the other day because I was watching one of the Boondocks clips, and Riley was talking to Huey. He was like, the cause is I want a house. The cause is I want to get this guap. And that reminded me of basically when I was talking to this lady. So, I allowed to wear headphones in our place of work. So I asked the lady to take the headphones out. She was like, I need motivation. I can't do this job without motivation. Well, dear, motivation is you want to keep the lights on. Motivation is you want to keep that car going to point A to point B. Motivation is you keep a roof over your head. Motivation is come December 25th, your kids got something to open. That's your motivation. Music is not your motivation. It's crazy, I did tell her that. And she is like, that's not enough. Oh, okay. It quite baffles me the amount of people that have like a huge disregard for like their living situation or their health or whatever the case may be. Like I'm literally arguing with this one lady. She was a diabetic. Her blood sugar, she took it. It was reading 500, and she was like, "I'll just go drink some water." Well, where's your medicine? Oh, I sell it. Why the fuck do you sell your meds? And she was like, oh, well, I don't like the way it makes me feel. Mind you, this is not a HIPAA conversation at all. This is a random street interaction. So, yeah. I was like, what do you mean you don't like the way it make you feel? It don't matter. You're going to lose your leg. You're going to lose your eyesight. You're going to lose a lot of shit. You need to take these meds. She was like, nah, I already sold this month's supply. I'll just drink some water. Just blatant disregard for your health. The amount of people that are like, I won't pay the landlord. The rent's too high. Well, what are you going to do when they take you to court? Like, if your side job is pissing you off and you're like, you know what, screw it, I don't need this, fuck it. Storm out. Burn the bridge. You know what I mean? If you met somebody and it's not working out, fuck it. Storm off, burn the bridge. But when you have like a permanent tether, you shouldn't be quick with the knife to cut it or burn the bridge. Because, like, all right, you only have one bridge and you're standing on it. Why would you burn it down? There's nothing on. There's no boat. There's not another bridge. There's nothing. There's just scorched earth, and now you free falling. That always amazes me. Is people that just have genuinely no. What's the word called? It's like no self-preservation. That's what it is. No self-preservation. It's just like, you know what? Fuck it. Whatever happens, happens. Hopefully the bad outcome doesn't happen. Okay. There should be a point when the emergency e-stop gets pulled and you reset the current direction you're heading. It amazes me sometimes when people will die on a hill of they're not comfortable, or this situation doesn't make them happy, or whatever the fuck they got going on in their life. They got anxiety, and they are hell bent on fixing that. But when it comes to the problem that could potentially harm them or have them turn them into unhoused micro entrepreneurs, it's like those things are less important. Okay. We live in a crazy world and crazy times, and I never understood it. Speaking of no self-preservation and this already failing economy, the dollar is losing its value. We are no longer, well, I can't say we're no longer, because we still have a significant impact in the currency space. But the dollar is losing the strength that it has. People don't want to buy our debt. That's a problem. That's a big problem, actually. Majority of our debt is bought through the Cayman Islands, which is owned by U.S. Owned by the U.S. Ooh, that was a terrible round sentence. So, we're just buying our own debt. And are we helping our dollar, or are we fucking it up? Are we the cause for our messed up dollar? Because now our value comes from the reserve that we have. And right now, bonds don't have the weight that it used to have. Majority of the value of anything is in gold and silver right now. So people are buying silver and gold, and silver has went through the roof right now. 1 troy ounce is quite expensive. Not like it used to be. It was very cheap. So what's happening with our dollar? What are we doing? So it makes me wonder, do people actually pay attention to anything that goes on in the world? Because if you scorch earth and you don't pay your landlord, you scorch earth and you quit your main job, the dollar's losing its value. So let's say you're 19. Let's be nice. Let's say $21 an hour. You're 21. The money's never going to catch up with inflation anytime soon. And it's getting further away from it, and it has less value. So I mean, $100 today's money is like $10. What happens when $100 is like 30 cents? And you're still only making 21, 22. This is a problem. Maybe we shouldn't go scorched earth. Because as the dollar keeps getting trampled on, prices are just going to keep rising because it's never going to catch up. $1,200 in rent today is like an astronomical amount of money back then. That's like, what do you mean $1,200 a month in rent? Now, that's on the cheap end. You're lucky to get a little shit box for less than $1,000. It's going to be a shit box, too. I was recently looking at apartments, helping some people out, looking to see what's out there, stuff like that, right? And they had a studio apartment for, I want to say it was $760, something like that, right? Suspiciously cheap. Well, there's a reason for that. It was the foyer that they turned into an apartment. So you know how when you walk through the front door and there's supposed to be that little area and then there's doors going wherever it is that you want to go? Yeah, they turned that into a studio apartment. So what they did was, when you walk through the front door, you're now in your apartment. And then the other doors, as you can see them, they sealed them off. Then they created a wall, put a toilet in there, and they're selling that as an apartment. Now, you don't have a closet. There is no kitchen area, so that means you either have to be comfortable with a hot plate or you got to figure out how you get in the stove and fridge and all that good stuff in there. So really, this apartment is good for... This has to be a male apartment. There's no way around it. There's no woman that's comfortably living there. And it's not to be sexist. It's just, let's be real here. It's just not going to work, right? Nah, I guess. Because I'd have to be a college student, B, one of those like real earthy kind of girls, or C, it has to just be a single man that has truly nothing. Like, you know what? They got a mattress, maybe a TV, maybe a game, and a bin full of clothes. I'm talking, that's it. Collectively, they own maybe 20 items. That's who this studio apartment is for. But, just to show you, the economy is dog shit. They putting people in a foyer. The landlord found a way to squeeze one more room out of this apartment. This is insane. How do they get away with this shit? And it's crazy as you could, like, the way they took the pictures, that's how we know what they did. Because they also had like the 360 camera view and all that. It's just, this is literally the front entrance to a nice big house. And this is the area where you put your shoes at. Probably there's maybe a little bench that you can put your stuff on. This is a foyer that they turned into an apartment. And want close to $800 a month for it. Which I'm lost, because it's not even running water. Like, unless you go to the toilet. The toilet and sink they put in there. But that's your only sink. So how are you going to even wash dishes? I'm going to find this picture of the place, and I'm going to try to add it, because this shit is wicked, yo. Like, it's one thing for me to tell you. It's a whole nother thing for you to actually see this bullshit as apartments. Oh my gosh. This is wild. Stuff like this makes me grateful for, like, what I have. Because it's like, if I was in a different set of shoes, I probably would have to choose this. And I'm not making fun of anyone that has to stay here. I'm more making light of the money grubby realtor who thought this was, not realtor, landlord who was like, you know what? I don't give a damn what they think. They're going to take this foyer and they're going to live here. Like, okay, guy. I don't think anyone's going to happily take this, but you know what? We do what we must do. Is this it? No, this one is. A lot of the other studio ones I was looking at, they at least, like, they kept church and state separate to a degree. But some of these other ones, boy, oh boy, I tell you, these are rough. Oh my God, they are rough. Like this one. You walk in, there's the fridge, there's a kitchenette, and then there's a little room, there's the bathroom. That's what you got to work with. That's horrible. Moving on to bigger and better things. You know what time it is, and it's time to blast your guys' favorite El Presidente. We can't go a while without talking shit about Trump, you know that. We're not fully talking shit about Trump, but we're gonna talk shit about Trump. We're more talking shit about his buddy, his best friend, Epstein. So the DOJ released the Epstein files, right? Majority of it is blacklisted, so it's, scratched out, redacted. You don't need to know what it says, right? Well, a lot of it that isn't redacted says Trump. Like, it's a lot of it. Now, mind you, these are FBI, unofficial transcripts, and there's a lot of shit mixed in with this, okay? I find it quite entertaining that they keep saying the Epstein files are fake, then they're real, then they're fake, then they're real. Obama created them to smear Trump. Then Sleepy Joe created them to smear Trump. Then Trump created it. Then he didn't do it. Then it was all a lie. Then it's the truth. Then they started a movement to get them released. Charlie Kirk was pushing for it to be released. He got shot and killed. Radio silence on the Epstein files. Now all of a sudden they released the files, but they're redacted. Then they're like, oh, we just found 1 million more files that we haven't seen yet. Okay. Another interesting caveat about this whole Epstein file thing is the DOJ's Twitter page. Their actual Twitter page, which quite ironically is run by the White House. They said anything involving President Trump is slander. But everything else in these files is true. But all the Trump stuff is slander. It's not real. Okay. How did we get here? I understand. Not all of this shit is official. But how do we know for certain that specific portion isn't true, but everything else is? Break this down for me. I need you to explain the logic. Sir Trumping, sir. We obviously know that your people behind this said this. Maybe even Trump himself even typed this up because, his Twitter page is full of crazy shit that he tweets himself. I don't even know if he has a PR team anymore. They're probably just like, nah, we quit. he's too rogue. He's gonna go off script. We can't control him. But why is everything else real, but that anything that involves the president is fake? Come on, guys. Can we try just a little better to be like, hey, we don't diddle kids? A little better? Like, please break this down for me. Because it's because of the implications. It doesn't look good. It does not look good. You're basically taking a giant arrow, pointing it at yourself, and then you're like, it's not us, though. Well, who is it then? In those files, it talks about how some woman was sold into terrible things with Trump, and she had his baby, and then her uncle and him, they killed the baby, and they threw the baby in the river. I don't know. I kind of would expect this behavior from young Trump. Maybe, he got scared and was like, yo, I got to clean this shit up. I think once you get to a certain point of money, you got a guy that just fixes shit, like a Ray Donovan type of dude, or Better Call Saul, the old white guy. I think his name was Michael. Like, there's a certain point where you just have a cleanup dude. Like, his whole job or her job is to just clean up your bullshit. And I wouldn't put it past the president to have a cleanup guy. His job is to clean up the bullshit. They call the guy, he's like, hey, we got $30K for you. President fucked up again. We need you to clean it up. And then he comes through, cleans it up, fixes it. I wouldn't put it past that they have that kind of guy. And I wouldn't put it past that happened. So, yeah. It's really hard to not believe the simplest answer. And I understand that the cleanup dude, that's not the simplest answer. But there's no way that everything in there, especially that saying his name, is a lie. Is some of that shit in there a lie? Yeah, I ain't gonna say. Maybe there is a lie or two in there, and they'll probably pick it apart and be like, nope, this is a definite lie. I was at Thanksgiving that day. Sure, you might have photos for that specific event that proves you weren't there. But what about the other 99 things they said you did? I'm one of those people that will meet in the middle. I gotta see the good and the bad. I will argue both sides of the coin, but this is a hard coin to argue, I can't lie, 'cause how? Just how? Guys, I know we're pushing a short one, but sometimes life updates in real time and you get cut short. Life updated in real time. So, we got to call it a day. We got to end it. We got to put a pin in it. Maybe I might be able to come back and, we can continue this conversation. But for now, we got to pop the bubble, end it, call it a day. I do appreciate everyone bearing with me in these times. The people that stayed, are rock stars. The people that left, I understand. The inconsistency can be upsetting. I am working on getting better at what I'm supposed to do and being a better me, because all I can do is be the best me. But, yeah, tune in next week, guys. We'll have a longer content. We'll have more to talk about. Like I said, we're going to be starting those those reacts to videos and shit that I found online, or maybe someone sent me, and I was like, yo, this is funny. Let's talk about this bullshit. But yo, tune in next week. I do appreciate each and every one of you and everything you have done this year. I would not have made it this far if it wasn't for the people that I do have behind my back and in my corner. So I do appreciate each and every one of you. I do appreciate the Patreon supporters. I know I have not been shouting you guys out, but you are not forgotten. You are the major reason why this is keeping going. So without you guys, this would have been ended a long time ago. And then even the people who were digging the shorts, even though I fell off hard and I got to rebuild that back up. I appreciate all of you. It's been an amazing year, and let's have an amazing 2026. Peace.